Good morning. It's Saturday the 25th of May, and yesterday I could have quite easily started pulling out my hair. I could have, because by now Jim, good morning. Aberdeen bus videos, morning. Yeah, so I could have quite easily started pulling out my hair yesterday. The frustration. Okay, basically, I try my hardest. I do. Be the best I can be at all times. I try and keep it professional. You see, I keep it as possible to my passengers without overcomplicating things. Okay? So, yesterday, what happened was, I drive down Whitehall, past number 10, all the good stuff, you know, we're all being ruled from. And at the end of Whitehall, you've got Parliament Square. Parliament Street, that leads on to Parliament Square, on the southbound, was blocked. Okay? Lane 1, which is the left-hand turn onto Bridge Street, which goes on to Westminster Bridge, blocked. Lane 2, blocked. Lane 3, blocked. Lane 4 was the only one that was open. However, you cannot turn left onto said bridge from lane 4. And there was a clear signposted diversion for all buses yesterday. Clear signposted diversion. Now, I don't do my own thing. I do as I'm instructed to by my controller, because that just saves me getting in trouble. Right, Freddie, I'll read that in a sec. You see, this gets me. So what happened was, the diversion was, once we got onto Whitehall, was to serve the bus stop, turn left onto Horseguards Avenue, and you can get all this on Google Maps so you know exactly where I'm talking about. So Whitehall from Trafalgar Square, left onto Horseguards Avenue, right onto Victoria Embankment, and because we can't turn left onto the Westminster Bridge from there, we have to turn right onto Bridge Street, go all the way round Parliament Square, and then go back onto Bridge Street, picking up our line of route. So this is the announcement I played to people when leaving Trafalgar Square. Okay, are we ready? Very good morning, everyone. Again, you can't say ladies and gentlemen anymore. Very good morning, everyone. This bus is going to be on a small diversion around Parliament Square due to the closure of Parliament Street. This bus will not be stopping at Westminster Station. If anyone needs to get down to Westminster Station, please use the next stop. And then I said to him where the bus was going. This bus will be diverted left onto Horseguards Avenue, right onto the embankment, right onto Bridge Street, circumnavigating, or going around, because people don't know what circumnavigate means, Parliament Square, picking up our line of route. The next bus stop for this bus is at St Thomas's Hospital. Clear, concise, professional. Yes, that's what it was. Yes, it was. You know, and the fact that I told them I'd be missing one bus stop and then returning to line of route was clear enough. But no, not for this guy. Not for the one guy that came trolling down the bus with his dirty white shirt on. No, not him. Came trolling down the bus. Driver, are you still going to Camberwell? Really? Really? At what point did I say this bus was terminating anywhere? At what point did I say this bus was not going Camberwell? All I said was this bus is going to be missing one bus stop and that we're on a small diversion around Parliament Square. And then I said to him, sir, we're only missing one stop. Where do you need to go? I need to go St Thomas's. Ah, great. Well, that's the next bus stop for you, sir. Oh, how long is it going to take? I'm like, it's only going to take 5 minutes if the traffic moves. Anyway. There was a little bit of traffic, I can't lie, because I hadn't been down that way yet today, or yesterday. First time down there yesterday, not ever, but during that day. The traffic was a bit more than 5 minutes. But I'm stuck in the middle of the road, with no bus stops at all. So imagine my frustration when I can't open the door because there's no safe place and all I've got is this bloke yakking in my ear hole. I need to go here, I need to go there, open the door, this gets on my nerves, you're a bad bus driver, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. Nah, I'm not a bad bus driver. You are getting on my nerves, and the thing is I can't say this. I can't tell him to fuck off, can I? No. All I had to do was grit my teeth and be as calm as possible. Sir, I do apologise for the traffic. It's out of my control. I will open the doors when I get the bus into a safe position. Please have some patience. Oh, so he shuts up. So he shuts up at that point, doesn't he? Where does he go? Where does Captain Cuntface go? He goes back upstairs and starts ringing the bell over and over again. Honestly, like ringing the bell possesses the power of Moses, like it will part traffic like the Red Sea. Is it them or is it me? Because for some reason, over the last nearly 8 years, I seem to attract fucktard after fucktard onto my bus, and I have to sit there and take it and be as nice as pie all the time. Is it them or is it me? Do I have speak to me like a wanker over my face? Do I? Is it written across there? Is it in some kind of ink that I can't see? Is it there? You know, why is it that idiots are attracted to me and get on my bus and then ask me stupid questions when I gave you clear, concise information in English that is your first language? I said we're missing one bus stop. I said where the bus was going. It's not my fault. Is it them or is it me? Am I reading too much into this? Am I letting it get to me a little bit too much? Let me know. I was on a Route Master today and I saw a little cupboard door wide open by the third door on the back stairs. Jim, sorry. Need to say sorry. Right, Freddie, 2004.13. Yeah, that cubby hole there. I can tell you exactly why that's there, because when these Boris buses were first introduced, there was a second member of staff on said buses, a PA or a passenger assistant. They were not there to collect bus fares. What they were there for was to make sure it was safe when people decided to jump on and off of the rear door, because the rear door on those buses were open. They were kept open. So if you had a second person on the bus, the rear door was kept open, basically. So they were there for safety's sake. And they also had a tablet or an iPad with them, which was company issue or TfL issue. And it was there basically to put inside. The cubby hole was there to put the tablet inside, and also because there's a USB charger in there, which is, they're all disabled now, but you know, to plug said tablet in and charge it. The tablet was used for general information to give to the general public. So that's what that's for. And sometimes the lock swings open and the door flies open, and it is a pain in the arse because we have to keep closing them. So Jim says sorry, not have to be sorry. Ross McGarry says good morning. Jim says that's long. What a ding-a-ling. Ha-ha, says Aberdeen Bus Videos. If anyone hasn't checked this guy out, go and check this guy out. Definitely worth a watch. To be honest, I need a system where if someone pressed the bell once, it says bus stopping, then it should disable the bell noise until it stops saying bus stopping. There is a system like that. It's on some buses. It is on some buses. Some buses have it where you press the bell, it actually delays the press for like 30 seconds. So at least we get some respite. Other buses have no such feature. It's just constant, relentless ding, ding, ding. And some buses have it where the second it goes once, it doesn't ring at all after that until the doors open. Aberdeen Bus Video says it's them. I'm glad someone thinks that. You don't half attract the fruitcakes on your bus, pal. WTF? Yeah, I do. I'm beginning to think it's me. I must have some kind of sensible person repellent on me, you know, or some kind of fucktard attractor. And I shouldn't, I mean, I'm probably going to get this video watched by management. I'm going to get pulled in. You can't talk about the general public like that, they'll say. Did I talk to the general public like that? Did I? No. Didn't talk to the general public like that. I'm venting my frustration. My frustration is what I'm doing right now. I'm venting my anger now as opposed to venting it on the bus. I don't know this bloke's name. I didn't give a description of the guy apart from the fact that he had a white shirt on. To be fair, he was an African man with a very heavy English / African accent. You know, the way they can't make their mind up whether it's English or African. Oh yes, we know what we're talking about. You know, he's clearly a British man, but likes to lay on the thick Nigerian accent for the effect of it to make himself sound more intimidating. That's what it was, because it happens in my bus garage with drivers. Did you know that? Yes. It's almost like, I'll tell you what else gets on my wick when it comes to accents. One just quickly. All right. It's when you have British Jamaican men and women, okay, which were brought up to sound pie and mash, to be fair. They lay on the thick Jamaican accent. That's another one that gets on my nerves. Oh yes. Oh yes. Yes, because when they do end up speaking to an actual person who is Jamaican with an actual Jamaican accent, they then start to sound stupid. Let's have a look. The only route masters near me are N8. I did not know that. No, not you. Not at all, pal. But you do make me laugh. Oh, you're more than welcome. You're more than welcome. If it makes you laugh even more, it's like my beard's starting to grow back slightly now. My son doesn't like it, the fact that it's gone. He wants me to magically grow my beard back really quick. Like I can put my thumb in my mouth and go like that. It's not going to happen, is it? Chris, what is dirty bus you have driven? Most dirty bus I've driven. Well, it's funny that, because if we have a dirty bus, the bus driver that takes that bus out in the morning is supposed to report it and or get it cleaned before going out. The worst bus I've driven was I've taken the bus over halfway through the day. It must have been it was a later start, so it was about 2:30, 3 o'clock. And no word of a lie, there were so many boxes on the upper deck of empty chicken shop boxes, it looked like someone was trying to conduct a voodoo ritual. Honestly, All I needed was a few candles and someone to sit in the corner going, yama, 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 yama. And I'm pretty sure something would have, like spirit would have come onto the bus, And not only that, no, people love leaving McDonald's milkshakes on the bus. They love it. It's like, if you're going to leave something on the bus, at least buy the driver one and say, there you go, mate. It hasn't been touched. Look, here's an unopened straw. And the amount of people that leave full milkshakes on the bus, on the floor. Why? If you're going to leave anything on the bus, buy a whole fresh one and give it to the driver as a way of saying a thank you. Morning, Sam, Stephen. Good morning to you. I'm off to a festival today. Ooh, what one you going to? What festival you going to? You're not going to the Chicken Wing Festival, are you? Are you? Leave it on the bus festival. Why don't buses have bins? Because bus drivers don't get paid to be cleaners, that's why. And to be fair, if buses had bins, it would get filled up at the end of every trip. Okay, that's the fact. And then where would it have to go? On the street is where it would go. And then bus companies would end up getting fines. So it just stays on the bus. I then have to work in other people's crap for the rest of the day. Just food on the floor, drinks on the floor. The worst one I ever had was years ago. Oh yeah. In fact, there's two. The worst one by far was a woman actually took a shit on the back seat. Oh yeah, a shit on the back seat. That didn't go down well with my passengers, although I did take the bus back to the garage and get it cleaned out promptly. Another one is I've had a relatively empty bus, but a woman got on the bus with her child. Now I don't know what's going on. All I know is that it smells a bit, need a new nappy kind of smell. Yeah. So I thought, please get off soon. I've done the whole baby changing thing once. I don't want to do it again. This was before my second son was born, And what she'd done was, while the bus was relatively empty, change her child's backside and then leave the shitty nappy on the floor. I'm making way too much noise for walking through a quiet residential area at 7:45 in the morning. Is it 7:45? No, 7:25 in the morning. I'm going to end up waking someone up because of my sheer frustration. What do you do? What to do if you find rude graffiti on the bus? Well, again, on a pre-service check, if we do find graffiti on the bus, we are supposed to use the new PDA system that we have on the bus, take a picture of it and report it as a defect, basically. Obviously it goes under criminal damage, and if it can be removed without damaging the seat or the upholstery, and you have enough time to do it before leaving the garage, then it can be sorted out there and then, providing that the people that do it are not on time constraints for fixing other buses that need it more than yours. Let's read this now. Our old B10M coaches, plus a new low floor Plaxton coaches used on Perth and Edinburgh route have been fixed to disabled area. Have been fitted next to, okay, a big bin fitting next to the disabled area. That's well, I suppose that's handy. I don't get paid to clean the bus, therefore I will not clean the bus. The only thing I would do, maybe at a push, is if they had a little cubby hole with a broom in there, I might give it a sweep. But where am I going to put it apart from sweep it outside? That's creating more litter to the environment. What would happen if you found graffiti such as a swastika or something as bad? If I found a swastika on my bus graffitied on it, I would not take that bus out until it was sorted out. unless it was removed, I'm not taking that bus out. If I find graffiti on the bus with any kind of racist anything on there, anti-Semitic, Nazi graffiti, I wouldn't take the bus out. I've never found it. Don't get me wrong, I've never found it. It's not something I've encountered. But if I did find it, then I would get that sorted out. And if they can't do it, I'd ask them for another bus. And if they haven't got another bus for me to drive, then I suppose I'm just going to have to sit and have a cup of coffee and wait until they find one. I can't see this, so I ain't got my glasses on. What do you if you see a bus driver having a fight from the same garage as you? Stand back and watch, really. I'm not going to jump in, nothing to do with me. I'm not going to film it because that's just degrading, is what that is. That's another thing that gets on my wick a little bit, really, is the amount of people that, you know, will see something happening on the street, whether it's someone that's been robbed, someone that's been stabbed, someone fighting, someone having a heart attack. The first thing people do, instead of getting out their phone and calling 999 and reporting an emergency or an incident or whatever happened, or actually going to help, people get their phones out and start going, I must get this and put it on YouTube. So no, if I see any of my fellow bus driving colleagues having a fight between themselves, I'll stand there and watch. I might even bet a fiver on see who's going to win. But to be fair, it's nothing to be proud of. My right arm is aching, that's why I keep changing the angle. Hopefully going to get a gimbal at some point, but you're damned with gimbals, because with gimbals you either spend loads and loads and loads of money on something that's really, 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 really good, or you spend next to no money on them at all and find that they're really, 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 really bad. There's no middle ground when it comes to phone stabilizers. I mean, if they had a decent one for 30 quid that, you know, could compensate for that and compensate for that and compensate for that, all nice and tidy, you know, for 30 quid, I'd buy that. But no. Who are worse passengers? Who are worst type of passengers? Old ladies? No, I can't put a pinpoint on that. The worst type of passengers I find are the passengers that are just rude and ignorant, and that can be from young people all the way through to old people. No particular type, it's just depends on what people's mood are during the day, really. You know, it's just, yeah. I mean, to be fair, I can't say it's all passengers. A lot of my passengers are absolutely wonderful people, they really are. It's just every now and again one will slip through the cracks and you will get arsehole mode kick in, and you just have to sit there and be all nice and professional, and you just want to slap them. I wouldn't expect you to clean the bus, as I always the cleaner and deal with it. Yeah, to be fair, the cleaners in the bus garage don't exactly do a sterling job either. You know, yes, they get rid of 95% of the rubbish on the bus. There's always something they leave behind, but they've got this really bad habit of getting a dirty rag and then wiping the windscreen with it like they think it's going to clean it. Because what happens is that will then dry, and then when I'm driving directly towards the freaking sun, all I can see is grey and streaks of dirt. These are cleaners, might I remind you. Cleaners, which means they are there to clean things, not spread dirt around, which is what they fucking will do. Oh, I'm in rage mode today. It's a long week, it really is. 7 days in a row, and I only get paid for 5 of them. How does that work, you may ask? Well, boys and girls, Saturday is the start of my week. Yes, it is. Last week, my day off was Saturday and Sunday. Prior to that was Thursday and Friday, because it was my long weekend. So Saturday's the start of the week. So my days off for last week were Saturday, Sunday. Okay, which means my next day off is Monday and Wednesday. But I only get paid Monday to Friday. So I've had to work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, be paid for that. And now I'm working, because today's the start of the week, Saturday, Sunday. So my days off next are Monday, Wednesday. But I've had to work 7 days in a row. My idea was to pay us, 2 weeks in hand, and we get paid for the days we actually work in a row. That to me makes much more sense, because that way I'd get paid more money. Have you ever thought about doing a stream while driving? No. No, I've never thought about that, and there's a good reason I've not thought about that, because if we get our phones out in the cab for any reason, and I mean any reason, whether it's to check the time, even if you're in the cab at the bus stand with the engine off and the handbrake applied, if you are caught with your phone in your hand by a controller, a member of the public, and they complain, or someone spots it on CCTV, it is instant dismissal. Them's the rules of my company. Instant dismissal. And don't get me wrong, I would love to stick a GoPro above my head and film the route. It's like really quick, slow it down as we get to a bus stop. Really quick, slow it down. I believe another bus driver has done that. Go and check him out. I can't remember who though, because I'm in a group chat with a load of YouTubing bus drivers. If you do see this, by the way, and you are that bus driver, comment down below so people can go watch it, because it's actually a really good video. But no, I'm not allowed to stream inside the cab. That would be naughty. Do you like Brexit? I love Brexit. Okay, what a great question. Jim Mowat. I love Brexit. I do. I voted to leave. Oh yeah. I'm sick to death of being told what to do by people that have fuck all to do with this country, telling me how much tax to pay, for example. Making up laws in this country that we have to obey. Like vaping, for example. I'm a vapor, I don't smoke. TPD laws came in, forced in by the European Union, which means you can't buy a big bottle of e-liquid at all with nicotine. You have to buy bottles, any bottle of e-liquid that contains nicotine must only be 10 ml big, which means now allow loads of big bottles of zero nicotine and loads of nicotine shots that are 10 ml. It's a pain in the arse. It's good in many ways, don't get me wrong, but by and large, it's a pain in the arse. When it also comes to vaping, the tank size. For some unknown reason, the European Union said it was illegal to have tanks that are bigger than 2.5 millilitres. Like it makes a damn difference. All it does really is reduce the amount of juice that I can have in the tank. And when it's gone, I'm going to fill it up again. Why not just let me have the big tank that I have? Then I have to fill it up less. It's silly little things like that. They micromanage. In fact, it happens so much that you don't actually realise what it is in your life that is being micromanaged by the European Union. You just take it as a given. Let's have a look. I never miss your videos, gets me started for the day. Ambidextrous custard. OBE. Thank you. Really appreciate that. No one likes that more than me. What the worst advert you've seen on a bus? To be fair, I don't pay any attention to adverts on the side of the bus, apart from the fact that yesterday my bus was blue and not. I swear that bloke jogged past me earlier. He's got a wiggle on, hasn't he? Woohoo! No, I don't care. I mean, there are some bus drivers that throw their toys at the pram when it comes to, say, adverts about pride. Really? So we've established that you're homophobic bus driver and that you don't want to drive a pro-pride bus. Okay. Personally, myself, I don't care. You could literally give me a great big bright pink bus with an advert for hormone replacement and it wouldn't bother me. whatever. You know what I mean? I'm not just using that as a dig. I'm just using it as something random to say. It wouldn't bother me. Flat cut bus driver. Oh, yes, flat cut bus driver Sean. He is an absolute ledge. So for those of you that haven't subscribed to Flat Cat Bus Driver, go and subscribe to Flat Cat Bus Driver. He is absolutely fan-bloody-tastic. Yorkshire Tiger Bus Driver films the route. Yes. Although I believe he doesn't work for Yorkshire Tiger anymore. But he has got things in the pipeline. As like I said, he's a very, very, very good YouTuber. He's very good. You know, he's better than me. In fact, to be fair, a lot of people are better than me. I just tend to go on YouTube and rant. Dynamite Blower 965. Hello. Should kids age 8 learn sex education? Now, this is a strange one. It's not so much a strange one. It's a very delicate subject, okay? I think from year 6, basic human biology should be taught in schools of how the reproductive system actually works and what they are, okay? It's not a case of men put their penis into the woman, baby. You know, it could be done in a very tasteful, safe way where children can ask questions about the differences between male and female. And yes, it can be very embarrassing for young men and young women at that age, you see, but a basic level of human biology in the classroom should be taught in year 6, the year before going to secondary school, because they're going to learn about it in secondary school, and by the time they get to secondary school, if they've never learned anything about it at all, because they're at that age where they're now 10, 11, 12 years old, their bodies are changing, they're getting all these hormones, and when they do start learning about things at that age, it can get even more embarrassing. So yes, it should be taught at a younger age, maybe year 5 into year 6, but it should be done in a very bland way, you know, like the basic differences between men and women, you know, how an egg is fertilized, for example, not so much the act of sex, you know, but it should be how an egg is fertilized. So a man would release a tiny sperm, and then that sperm swims towards the egg with millions of other sperm, and it's like a race. And then when they get to the egg, you know, they can fight each other to get in there. You know, if you're like me, you're the lazy bastard, you just sat at the front and was pushed all the way to the egg, and just won by default. You know, and then once one of those sperms gets into the egg, then it starts to develop and grow inside mummy's tummy. You see, so basic education like that should be taught in schools, you see, and anything more than that is for obviously a higher level of education in secondary school. But yes, children should learn about that. What I don't think children should learn about is different sexualities. You see, it's a case of, I'm a weird one when it comes to this LGBT thing. I've got no problem whether you're gay, lesbian, bi, trans, whatever you are, but that should not be in the general curriculum at school. That serves no educational purpose, none. You see, what should be taught in school is general acceptance, you see, and teaching kids to accept everyone for who they are and for what they are, as opposed to teaching kids what they can and can't be. You know, it should be a case of teach kids that accepting everyone for who they are as an individual, regardless of who they are, what they believe, is a good thing. So that's what I believe that should be taught in school, acceptance, as opposed to teaching kids about sexuality and LGBT and this, that and the other. Just teach kids not to be assholes, basically. That is a teacher's basic function, is to teach them, let them learn gain life skills, things they can use in life, and also teach kids not to be dickheads. That's what it comes down to. I think the world in 20 years from now, all right, I think the world would be a much safer, better place for everyone if kids that are born today are taught not to be arseholes. It's a simple thing. It's a simple thing. I showed my mate your channel. His name is Rudy. For that, every little helps. If he's subscribed to it, then thanks. If he hasn't, then get his phone, smack that subscribe button. Where is Double Decker Anton? I'll tell you where Double Decker Anton is. He is probably on his way to work the same as I am. He's had a bit of a conversation with all of us YouTubing bus drivers recently in a group chat, and he's still taking his time. His channel is his property, it's what he wants to do. It's not that he's leaving everyone in the lurch, he's just taking his time with it. Because like he said to us, you know, and like I've said to you recently, it's that we work 7 days a week. And finding time for Anton to do his style of video, film it, and then edit it and cut it together when he hasn't got a computer, he's only got his phone to do it on, you know, it's just time consuming for Anton when it's been a long day, and he just hasn't got the time always to do it. So bear with him, he is around still, it's just very time consuming. It's just why I choose my method of doing these videos as a live, because it's easier for me. It's not always the best way for everyone. Sarah Cornelius, hi, how's you today? I'm very, very well. Adam, good morning to you. My mum said she met you once. I wouldn't know, but if I did meet your mum, I hope that I was a nice person. I was courteous and professional. I hope she's well. Lovely buildings on your walk. Yes, they are lovely buildings on my walk. This is Dulwich Village. You know, this whole area I walk through is Dulwich. It leads into Camberwell. But strangely enough, for as nice as this area is, it also has very, very high crime rate for burglaries. So if I was to actually live here and get my car insured here, it would probably double. It's weird that. Have you ever or I can't read this, I got my glasses. Have you ever crashed or someone crashed into you and have you ever heard anyone be DBBMM? I have had a couple of incidents. One was my fault and every other one was not my fault. I'm not going to discuss those here. In my own vehicle though, I've been hit up the backside about 4 times and I've never had a crash in my own vehicle. That was my fault ever. Bus drivers been pulled over by police. Yes, I have seen bus drivers be pulled over by the police. A bus driver for going through a red light very recently actually, and I've got no sympathy, none. Sympathy of none. It's interesting how other places in England, such as Reading or Manchester, use the same buses here in London. Dynamite Blower says, hi again. Do you play Roblox? No, I don't. Well, the thing is though, buses are buses. So what will happen is you'll have bus companies. Let's just say the company I work for. They're not just based in London. They're all over the place. Tell you, let's pick Stagecoach. Stagecoach operate in London. Stagecoach operate in Oxfordshire, you know, like Banbury. I believe they operate in Birmingham, Manchester, all across the country. You see? And what will happen is they'll go to the bus expo, which will be in Birmingham in November, for example. Hopefully I'll be going. Probably won't know. And they'll have potent buyers of the company go and check out the latest offerings from, say, Wright or, you know, Alexander Dennis or Optare or whoever these other bus companies are. And they'll go and show off their latest and greatest brand new great swanky buses. Okay? So what they'll be releasing, and then bus companies will go for whatever is the most either cost-effective vehicle or vehicle that is good for their route. So it's no wonder really. I mean, there's a lot of new Enviro 400s or Enviro 400 cities, or you know, there's a lot of these buses. They're all the same because, you know, it's just like the norm now. Oh no, I don't play Roblox. I have no time for that game. The same as I have no time for Minecraft. None. I saw a bus driver get flashed by a speed camera a few years ago. That's because some bus drivers are silly sausages and they think it's acceptable to drive above the speed limit. And this goes for cars and bus drivers. Remember, it's a speed limit, not a speed target. It's okay to drive just below the speed limit. And don't let anyone bully you into going faster. Arriva Kent. Yeah, you know, it's weird though, because buses in London use 2 doors or 3 doors, but buses in other places use only one. That's because most people everywhere else in the country aren't the same as people in London, because people in London are arseholes. You see, everywhere else in the country, you get to the bus stop, the front door opens, you wait for people to get off. Yeah. And then after the last person's got off, and then you start to board. Another reason why we have 2 doors on all of our buses as a standard is because it's easier to get pushchairs and wheelchairs on the bus, really. It's not that all passengers are arseholes, I take that back, not all. But basically we have to have doors in the middle because of accessibility for wheelchair users. That's the reason why. Medway has mostly Arriva buses, but their new venture and Chalkwell ones too. Can you tell me, why do old people think they should get on the bus before you because they are old, though you got the stop before them? Adam, that's just down to respect at the end of the day. I will always let an old person on the bus first, because they may not be able to stand up for very long. You may have been there before them at the bus stop, but they may struggle to stand up or walk. So the easiest thing in the world is to let them on the bus first, let them find somewhere to sit down. You see, they'll appreciate it more than you believe, and it'll make you a really nice person. So I will always let old people on the bus first before me, whether I'm going home or going to work or wherever. And I'll always let women on the bus first as well, because it's just the right thing to do. You know, sooner or later I'm going to say after you, and someone's going to go, yeah, you're offending me because I feel like you're patronising me because I'm a woman. Oh really? Well, then fuck off and I'll get on before you then. Oh, you can't say that. Really? I can't win, can I? I've got something in my bloody eye. Ah! Right, most of Scotland since heard offices. How many GCSEs do you have? Passed to be a bus driver. Well, in order to be a bus driver, you don't particularly need to have loads of GCSEs. What you need really is common sense and a basic grasp of English and maths. If you scrape by all of your GCSEs with D's, as long as you've got a clean driving license and you're over 21, you can apply for it, to be fair. I mean, the job isn't rocket science, but it does take a certain amount of common sense, you see. As for me and my own personal grades, all I'm going to tell you is I got 1A. The rest were all passes, but I got 1A. 2 doors is becoming a new law. Yes, 2 doors should become a new law because of obviously accessibility for wheelchair users. So, amen. I'm a trucker in the States, and everyone think the speed limit is 100. That's dangerous, and cell phones need to stay out of your damn hands. You know what? Amen to that. I'm gonna 100%, who's that? Trent 2004. See, it's law over here now, for cell phones, mobile phones. If you get caught with it in your hand, you get a fine, you get points on your license. You know, you can even have your license taken away, for God's sake. I mean, cell phones, mobile phones belong in your pocket or in the glove box, wherever. Don't hold your damn phone while driving. And I'm glad you agree with me on that, because the speed limit over here on the motorway, or the highway as you call it, is 70 miles per hour. And that's in every lane. So if you're doing 70 in the left-hand lane, which is the working lane, and there's a car in front of you doing 65, you know, check your mirror, you signal. When it's safe to do so, you pull out at 70 mile an hour. You go past that car 5 mile an hour faster than what that car is currently doing, get to a safe distance in front of said car, check your left-hand mirror, signal, and when it's safe to do so, pull back in front. All those lanes, realistically, are for overtaking vehicles that are doing below 70 mile an hour, because the working speed limit across the UK is 70 as a maximum, you see. So I can't lie, I am not innocent of this. I do tend to put my foot down when I know it is safe to do so, when I know there are no cameras around and I know the road is empty. I've been known to go up to 95 quite comfortably without realising it, and then when I do realise it, well, oh crap, drop it back a little bit. But that's just down to how smooth and comfortable my car is. But you know, so everyone's guilty of it. Everyone's guilty of speeding, I can't lie, you see. But to literally drive like an arsehole and mean it, nah. Yep, agree with Ross. What did Ross say? If you weren't a bus driver, what would you be? Would you have rather been? Porn star? No, I'm not. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. If I wasn't a bus driver, what would I be? Unemployed, probably. I honestly don't know. I never gave it any thought, to be fair. I've always said that if I wasn't a bus driver, if I'd lost my job, I would work anywhere while I found anything else to do. So if I was sacked, if I got the heave-ho, if I was given the push from my company, I'd either go across the road to the other bus company, which is literally across the road, or I'd even, as a last resort, go work in McDonald's until I found something of greater monetary value. I don't believe in being unemployed. If you want to work, you'll work. This is one thing I don't understand about anyone in this country that says, I can't find a job. I can't work because there are no jobs. Yes, there are. There's loads of jobs. You just have to stop being a lazy bastard. Just because you haven't got what you want, oh dear. Sometimes we have to work at jobs we don't like to earn money. It's called life. Thanks, Sarah. I have MS. I always appreciate when some folk let me on the bus first. Honestly, it doesn't take much to let someone on the bus first. You know, elderly people, women with children on the bus, those with disabilities, whether they're visible disabilities or not visible disabilities, all it takes is just to be nice. It's nice to be nice. Here it's $10,000 fine, or class A or B driver's license, phone in hand, and for cars it's only $150, but not enforced. See, I understand it. I understand why it's more for truck drivers, because obviously you're driving a truck. You know, if you crash into someone, they're gonna die. It's a fact, they're gonna die. You know, so obviously you have a bigger responsibility and you should know better. But equally, if a car driver does it, although they may not die, it's still pretty shit, and I think the fine should be raised for car drivers, and it should be implemented a hell of a lot more. I mean, I see people all the time on their phone. All I've got to do is look down out my window and I see people going, nah. I saw someone yesterday at the traffic lights playing Candy Crush. Candy Crush! I mean, of all things, Candy Crush. Do people even still play that shit? shit game anymore. Why do some drivers bus pass? What? Why do some drivers bus pass? I think what you're trying to say is, why do some drivers drive past you? Would you ever be a tram or train driver if you wasn't a bus driver? Yes, I would. Yes, I would. In fact, I know two of my friends that are train drivers. It's a very hard job to get into. There's a lot of hard work and training involved. But here's the great thing about being a train driver. You only work 35 hours a week. Yeah? Once you're fully qualified, you work 35 hours a week and you get paid up to and over 50k with no overtime. If you do overtime, you're looking at 60 for the year. Minimum. I'm 35 hours a week. Really? And this week, I'm working over 46 hours driving. That's not 46 hours total. Nah, that's 46 hours driving. I'm there actually longer because I don't get paid my lunch break. Last week was like 50 something, 57, 58 hours working. But I'm at work longer. You see? This is the bullshit thing about being a bus driver. Tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop reading all these comments right now, because I'm not going to be able to get through all of them at all. There's way too many of them, which I do appreciate, and they are going to stay on this video. When I have enough time, I am going to go through them and reply to as many as I can. Other than that, I've been rambling on this live now for nearly 52 minutes. 52 minutes, I've got 12 people watching. I had a maximum of 17 at one point, which is so good for me. You know, thank you everyone for watching. Obviously in the UK here, it's Saturday, it's early in the morning. If you're not working, enjoy your day off. If you're in the States, which I know some of you are, then good evening and good morning, because it'll be really, really damn early. I hope you have a really, really nice evening, and if you are at work, drive safely and get home safely. Much love to everyone. Have an absolutely fantastic day, and I'll catch everyone tomorrow.